Hello, welcome back to the interface. My name's Alex and this is my infotainment guide and walkthrough for the brand new Kia EV4. In this video we're going to cover the main 12.3 inch display, the climate control display and the driver's display, and at the very end of the video the Kia app for your phone. So first things first, this EV4 is very familiar to all of the Kia models that the company has launched. We've got one very large infotainment system screen basically, so it's one long display broken up into three sections on this EV4. So the main infotainment screen itself is 12.3 inches. We've got support as standard on all trims for wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and a whole host of other features. So you can see down here we've got some haptic buttons, 6 in total, for controlling some of the shortcuts on this main screen. They are haptic buttons and a little bit hard to read. You've got home, map, search, media, start and setup. I'd imagine with this, if you haven't got the best eyesight, that especially with contrast, that these are going to be a little bit of a pain to read because it's a white background with a very light white light. I do think that the base trim model might be a little bit easier to read because it has got a fully black interior. So, but your mileage may vary. Definitely go and look at one in person before you do commit to buying one. So that's how you control most of the shortcuts in here. There are some on-screen shortcuts too. So when you swipe down from the top, we've got the control center, or as Kia call it, the quick control. You can go in here and to turn the display off if you want to. You can do split screen, brightness, navigation guidance, navigation alerts, and utility mode, all that good stuff in there. If you click on settings, you can actually control all of the stuff in here. So you can add some of the shortcuts if you want to. All pretty good, really. If you swipe up from the bottom, nothing actually happens. If you swipe this side, you get to the other apps. There are some icons in this top corner. So you've got the time, which clicking on it takes you to the time settings. Go back to the main screen. We've got the icons up here for Kia Live. So the car itself has got its own SIM card and it's giving you an indication of what the signal strength is for the car itself. And Live just is what Kia call their online services. That is what that is. Up here, you've got 3 lines, or as usually it's called the hamburger menu. So you've got some controls in here. You can reset the menu order, profile settings, and the online manual. We won't go through the profile settings in this section here. We'll go through it later in the settings app as a whole section. So this is actually the main home screen, what you're looking at right now. So got the map widget here, got the media or the radio. Clicking on this icon will take you to other media sources. And then you've got the EV app there. Swiping on this side gives you more access to more apps. Another section with more apps, and another section with even more apps as well. So let's go through all of these one by one. So the first one is the navigation app, or the map app. So on this section here, obviously it will tell you where you're located. This little section here is actually widgets, so you can have widgets displayed all the time. So we're actually going to get rid of that. And then we've got pinch to zoom support here. It's all pretty easy to use and pretty responsive actually. There are some settings in this hamburger menu, so give you traffic information. We'll go through that in a second. You can search for nearby points of interest, so nearby offers, EV charging stations, filling stations, parking, cafes, fast food, restaurants, all that sort of good stuff there. You've got shopping, groceries, all that sort of stuff in there. If you click on EV charging stations, that will give you an indication of where EV charging stations might be. And it has got support for Google Maps point of interest in this new version of software now, which is actually really quite good to see. So it gives you some locations there. So we're now going to ask the EV4 to give us some directions to a location that is going to be outside of its EV range. So it'll give us a good idea of how the route planning works. Let's click on Aberdeen here. It's one I just searched for. It will give us a good idea of where we need to charge en route. So by default, it's going to choose the fastest and the recommended route. Click on close here and then click on indicate or include charging stations, and it will plan where we need to charge. You can see on the map here is a blue outline of where the car thinks it can get to on its current range, which is 302 miles. It's saying here 2 charging stops, or actually 3, to get to our location. So as I said, it's 533 miles. Each stop is about half an hour and 15 minutes on what is a 10-hour journey, which is pretty impressive really, considering what people say about doing long journeys in EVs. That is pretty good. If we click on settings, you can fine tune what you want. So let's just say 10% to get to a charging station, and then it asks you what charge level you want to get to your station with as well. So let's say 10% as well. We'll go back and recalculate. It probably won't add much time or charging stops, it might do 2 instead of 3, but we'll see. It basically shaves off 15 minutes and you now stop twice. So one is 23 minutes and one is 32 minutes. Both of them are 10 to roughly 80%. So that's pretty good there. There's not much customization in terms of the charging networks you want to use, but it is pretty good nonetheless if you don't public charge very often. There are some options here for more routes. So you've got a most economic route if you want to. So let's have a quick look at this one. It adds 45 minutes to your journey. That's pretty good there. So in terms of settings in here, we've got the traffic information, so you can turn that on and off, and that will add the lines on the roads to indicate how fast the traffic is moving, so green, yellow, or orange and red. Got the EV range, so we saw the bit of this earlier. It will put a blue outline around the map to let you know where you can comfortably get to with the current range in the car. As I said, we've got 301 miles in the car at 91%, so it gives you some indication of what the range is like. We've got the nearby information, so show points of interest icons. So if we zoom into where we are, we'll do all here, and then auto display when charging is needed. If we zoom out slightly, not much around me where I am now, but will give us some information here. It's got some road closures and different bits and pieces there, pretty good. You've got traffic information, so it will give you some live information about what is going on. So around the corner there is a road that's closed, another one that's closed, another one that's closed. So pretty standard really. And then got save locations. That will save the pinpoint of where you are right now, and you can set it to be a home, office, or a favorite, whatever you want. It's pretty good. And then we've got navigation settings in here. So quite a few options in here actually. So you've got vehicle speed, so while you are traveling along using the built-in sat-nav, you can choose to have the speed of the vehicle shown, although it will also be on the driver's display too. Got the traffic information that's displayed, so it's a show hide traffic information in the 2D or 3D map view. So if you don't want those green, yellow or red lines shown, you can just turn that off. Colour for traffic on the route, again, there will be a special colour for that as well. And show POI icons, so you can choose in here to have sort of whichever icons you want on the screen, so pharmacies, shopping or groceries. There's guidance settings in here, so you've got the EV route planner. So we looked at this a minute ago. You can choose at what level you want the car to get to a certain location with, which is pretty handy. So if you don't want to, you can actually cut down the amount of times you have to stop to charge if you customize what you want here. So if you know there's going to be a charger at your destination, by all means set this to whatever you need to. You've got some route options in here, so you saw earlier when we were getting directions off the car, it was doing it in a specific order, and you can actually choose that order. So by default, do you want the fastest route, do you want the most recommended route, do you want the most economic route, or you just want to prefer motorways, and you can customize that in there. Set guidance distance type, so you've got interval distance or cumulative distance. Distance type displayed for turns and maneuvers, so when you have got something specific like this, where you are turning off the motorway or the road, it will enlarge that detail for you, which is quite handy. You've got border crossing information, so when you do enter a new country, so if you are traveling in Europe, for example, it will pop up on the screen and tell you what the rules are in that country, like the speed limits on motorways, the speed limits on country roads. It's really, really handy, and it gives you this sort of map here. So it gives you the phone country codes, traffic information, as I said, the speed limits in whatever country you enter. Got alternative route information, so it says provision of additional routes on the map screen, which are toll-free route options are excluded. Show route overview while stopped, so when you have stopped, it will give you an overview of the route that you're doing rather than just the actual turn-by-turn directions. And then mute voice guidance nearby destinations. So once you get near a location that is in your favorites list, it will just mute the voice guidance because it will assume that you know where you are going, but you can have that to always speak to, you can have it just muted instead. Under alerts, we've got the camera alerts, so it will alert you when the speed camera is located. You can go in here and set the distance, so you can alert distance depending on the speed limit. It says automatically change camera alert distance according to that speed limit as well. It says alert distance is either 0.5, 0.25 or 100 yards. And you've got alert distance motorway 1, 0.5 or 0.2 wide as well. And then we've got the camera type, so you can always have it to tell you about all the cameras, only stationary ones or always mobile, which is pretty handy. And then for the map, you've got the map mode, so you've got 3D heading up. So the cursor or the icon for the vehicle, where do you want it to display? 3D heading up, 2D heading up, or the 2D north up. 3D buildings on or off, and auto zoom, so it will zoom in and out on the map when it thinks that it's required. Map font size, so we've got the large or standard. Daytime map color, so we've got light, dark, classic light, or classic dark. If we choose classic light here, it will show you this. If we go back to the map here, you've got a white view for the map. You've got clean dark, clean light, or classic dark. Choose that one for now, I think. Auto zoom settings, so when the car is going a bit faster, it will try and zoom in based on what you're doing. You've got extra zoom in, default, or extra zoom out. And automated features, so you've got previous destinations of where you've been. You can save a timestamp if you want to work out where you've been and what time. You've got save destinations based on automatic recommendations, and you can display previous destinations when entering the map screen. All really, really handy stuff. Automatic return after scrolling. So if you do scroll around on the map to look at what's near you, you can have the map scroll back to where you've been. Basically, that's quite handy, and return to the turn-by-turn directions. Return to map. So if you switch to the radio or another thing in the car, it will go back to the map, but it won't happen on phone projection. So that means just Apple CarPlay. So if you do have a map running in the background, you can have it just stay on Apple CarPlay if you want to. And then satellites, this will just tell you where you are, and it will tell you which satellites have been picked up in order to locate where the vehicle is. All pretty handy. It's picked up probably like 15, 20 different satellites. And that is the map view. The next one is the media. So at the moment it's playing BBC Radio 2. If you click on this icon here, it takes you to all the different sources, of which there are quite a few here. So got the DAB, FM, AM, Bluetooth audio, USB music, USB video, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Sounds of Nature, YouTube, which we first saw on the EV3, Entertainment, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay. So the first one is the DAB radio. So you've got the volume rocker in the middle of the car here, and you can search for your favorite radio stations in here. As always, all the apps on this car tend to have this 3-line hamburger menu for the settings for that particular app. So you can scan the DAB stations. Let's do that now. Got traffic information, or traffic announcement actually, and that'll be when you're driving along, going through different regions. You can have it automatically play the traffic alert based on a local radio station for where you currently are. Pretty handy there. Got regions, so you can set automatically the region you're in. It'll pick the radio stations as well. Got auto, or whatever you want. And then switch DAB and FM. So if FM loses signal for any reason, it will switch to DAB, and vice versa if the station you're listening to has the appropriate stations on both FM and DAB. And you can refresh that as well, so it has just been refreshed. You've got tune FM manually, so you can pick a frequency in here manually if you want to. It's pretty old school. Go back to this page here. You've got sort by station or sort by genre. You've got radio noise control, which is mild noise, original sound, strong noise reduction. You've got sound settings, which we'll go through in the main settings section in this video, rather than going through all the different settings for each app on its own. And then you've got the online manual. Again, we'll look at this online manual at the end of the video, but it is simply just a QR code that you can scan. That's pretty much it for the DAB app. If we go back to the media app now, we've got AM, same sort of deal in here. You've got the same sort of settings really. Nothing really different there. And then FM is in the same app as that one. Bluetooth audio. So at the moment I have got my phone connected to the car, but in CarPlay mode. So I'm going to connect it now in Bluetooth only mode instead. So now my phone is connected via Bluetooth. You can see I've got the current thing I'm playing, which is the Charging Status podcast, link in the description for that. And you can browse your phone sort of like you would with a file system. It's pretty handy if you don't have a phone that supports Apple CarPlay, for instance, or Android Auto. At least there is some option in here for playing Bluetooth audio. Pretty good there. Back to the media app now. You've got USB music, USB video, so you can plug in a USB drive to the 2 USB-C ports there and play some files off there if you want to. Amazon Music, so you do need to add Amazon Music to the profile in the Kia app, and once you've done that, you can stream music from there. Same deal with SoundCloud. Sounds of Nature, so this is these theme sounds. So got Lively Forest, On a Ship, City at Dawn, got Rainy Day. There's loads of things in here. Got a fire. Yep, pretty handy, and you'll see this on all the other Kia models as well. We've also got YouTube, which on this current test car isn't actually supported because you need to basically subscribe to the service, which is sort of around £20 a year or something, so I will put the exact price on screen, but unfortunately I can't actually demo this in this video. Bit unfortunate. Got the entertainment section as well. Again, another section which I can't demo in this video. Then we've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So we've also got Apple CarPlay, so I did disconnect my phone from Bluetooth and then I've now connected to CarPlay again, so we've got that option in here. And CarPlay is pretty self-explanatory. It is wireless on all different versions of the EV4, so it's a pretty good system and it is quite slick to use as well. So that's all the media stuff. Let's go back to the main screen now. So we looked at YouTube, looked at entertainment, we've got games as well, which might be behind another subscription. Let's have a look in here. Yes, your free gaming trial has ended, so again, I can't unfortunately demo that in this video. So let's look at settings now. This section is always quite long because the Hyundai Group models are always quite customizable in terms of what you can do with them. So I've got a load of different options in here. So the first one is vehicle, so you've got driver assistance. The EV4 comes with a lot of different safety technology as standard. It's really quite impressive. Got driving convenience, so you've got smart cruise control, or SCC. This incorporates a few different things like highway driving assist, or motorway driving assist as they call it, lane change assist and auto motorway speed change. So in terms of what these things are like to drive on the motorway, they're very good. Adaptive cruise control is standard here, so that's the motorway driving assist. Lane change assist is when you do use the indicator, the car will change lanes for you. I personally have found this can be a little bit hesitant or a little bit slow to move. So you press the indicator left or right, whatever, and you move over with it, and then once you're in the middle of the lane, it will turn the indicator off. But it can, in my testing, be a little bit slow, and it can possibly confuse other road users, but there is that to contend with. And then auto motorway speed change, very good feature. So if you have got cruise control on, it will adapt itself based to the current speed limit on the motorway. Even if there is roadworks, it does seem very good at doing that. So some nice features in there. You've got driving safety in here, so again, the safety tech that comes on this car is quite impressive. There's a lot that Kia includes as standard. It's got forward safety, so there's assistance in collision avoidance. The system provides a warning and actively controls the vehicle when a risk of forward collision is detected. You've got forward safety warning timing, normal or late. Forward cross traffic safety, forward side safety, lane safety, blind spot safety, and safe exit. Yeah, as I said, the amount of kit that comes as standard on this vehicle is quite impressive. So in here, you've got the speed limit settings. So you've got the option between assist, warning, or completely off. So if you do turn it off, it will not tell you about anything. You've got warning, which will just give you the speed limit. And you've got assist, and that will set the speed limit system. So it won't actually let you go above that speed limit. What you can do on here is you can hold down the mute button, and that will turn off the speed limit warning sound. Got the door or driver attention warning. So just above the steering wheel, there is a small infrared sensor, and that'll be watching your eyes to make sure you're watching the road. And this is the forward attention warning. So if you're not looking at the road for long enough, it will play an alarm sound. And part of that system, you've also got leading vehicle departure alert as well. Parking safety. So we've got auto PDW or parking distance warning. And rear cross traffic safety. The top spec GT Line S does come with an automatic parking feature as well. Camera settings in here, so you can choose what you want on that display. So when you do put the car in reverse, it will display the rear view camera. You can extend the rear camera use, so when you have got the car in reverse, neutral or drive, you can have the camera stay on when you are driving around, so that's pretty handy. You've also got rear view reference lines. Next, we've got drive mode. So you've got my drive mode, you've got the option between eco, normal and sport, and you can choose to put the car in either normal or sport steering feel. Got brake mode, again, normal or sport. You can have a option to tell you when you change the driver mode. So when you do that, it will come up with a profile thing up there to let you know that you've done that. I'm going to turn that off. You've also got the climate settings and air recirculation. So when you do wash the windscreen with the washer fluid, the air conditioning system will automatically recirculate the air to prevent any of the smell getting in the cabin. The same is said for the tunnels as well. So it's to avoid injuries, it will close the windows and it will do the recirculation to avoid any fumes. Pretty cool. Automatic ventilation, so the car will automatically dehumidify itself, and also smart ventilation. So when you have got the climate control off, after a certain amount of time, or when the humidity is getting to a certain level, the car will automatically ventilate itself. Pretty handy. and also the same for auto dehumidification at the same time. Defog and defrost options, the whole system will monitor itself for any fog on the windscreen and automatically defog itself, so that's pretty cool. And then also climate features, so air conditioner auto drying, so when you turn the car off, a fan will automatically run to prevent any mold from growing inside the air conditioning system. Got eco mode climate control, so I've found this is pretty handy actually in all the Hyundai Group vehicles I've driven. It just increases the efficiency of the vehicle because this particular one doesn't have a heat pump, so it is quite nice to have an eco mode for the climate control. Climate touchscreen control restriction, so it says the touch function will operate only on a part of the climate touchscreen. So at the moment this is all a touchscreen, but we'll go through this section in a second. And next we've got lights, so we've got ambient lighting, so there's a nice ambient lighting system in the EV4, so you can adjust the brightness here. You can go through and choose the colour you want, so you can have colours which are similar to the colours of the cars, and we've got a colour wheel here. You can choose any colour you want. Let's go for a nice dark blue there. You can also link the colour to the drive mode, so you can have, when you choose between the different drive modes, they've got their own colour for that sport mode or eco mode or whatever you want to choose, and you can have the colour linked to that specific drive mode. Also dimming under darkened conditions, so the ambient lighting isn't going to actually distract you from driving. One touch turn indicator, so when you do press the indicator down slightly, how long do you want the flash to be on, either off, 3, 5 or 7 flashes. Quite handy, you can customize that now. Welcome mirror light, so it says the condition under which the outside mirrors will unfold and door handle lights will turn on automatically. So it says on door unlock or on driver approach if you have got the smart key with you. You've got headlight timeout, so when the ignition is turned off, how long do you want the headlights and the rear lights to stay on for? It will be around 15 seconds. And also HBA or high beam assist. This is the automatic high beams on the car. So do you want that on or off, or do you want to manually control the headlights, the high beams yourself? Next we've got doors. So you've got auto unlock in here. So when do you want the doors to lock by themselves essentially? At a certain speed, when you shift into a specific gear or speed, or off completely, do you want to manually control the doors yourself? And the same settings for unlocking the doors as well. Again, when you put the car into P mode or off, or just turn it off completely. Auto unlock on approach with a smart key, and we've also got remote window control as well. You can control the windows from your phone actually. There's also digital key. So the GT Line and the GT Line S models come with digital key 2 as standard, which puts the car key on your phone, either your iPhone or Apple Watch, and it gives you that option there, which is really nice. You do need both keys with you to register the key on your phone for security reasons, but it's quite nice that it is included as standard. It's quite nice to see that more brands are now adopting this kind of system. Same kind of thing for an NFC key card, so you can obtain one from Kia if you want to. So if you want to use an NFC card instead of an actual key, and there's a serial number there for the digital key. And lastly, convenience. So you've got rear occupant alert. It will give an alert if passengers are on the rear seat of the vehicle. Service interval, so this car actually only needs servicing every 2 years or 20,000 miles, whichever comes first. You can reset that information in there. Wireless charging system for mobile devices. There is a wireless phone charger down in the center console, and you can turn that on or off. And also auto rear wiper. So when you put the car into reverse, the wiper will come on by itself. Next is EV. So there are some EV settings in here. This EV4 is based on Kia's latest platform for their EVs, so it means you can actually manually precondition the battery from your phone or from the infotainment screen. In the past, with the Ioniq 5 and the current Ioniq 6 actually, you would have to go in and actually set a destination in the software to get it to precondition itself. But now, with the latest software, you can now do it manually. Got utility mode, so if you are planning on sitting in the car or camping, you can get all the core technology and all the core sort of infotainment screens to power off the main traction battery instead of the 12 volt, and that will mean that 12 volt battery won't die. Smart recuperation, so the EV4, like all their EV models, do have the one pedal driving system called iPedal, and there's 4 different levels of recuperation. You can have it on a default of 3, you can have it based on the navigation, so it's quite nice to know you can actually customize it. There is an automatic mode as well. So you've also got plug and charge. So this is a certificate-based system for charging the EV4 on like the Ionity charger network or using the Octopus Electroverse system. You can turn that on and then you can go in here and add the certificate to that. It is a little bit limited in terms of the actual rollout, in terms of the charging networks that support it, but over time we should see it a bit more widely adopted. iPedal here, so you can disable iPedal when reversing. Nice that you can customize that. I think it's the first time that Kia have added this to a vehicle. But you can pull and hold the left shift paddle to enable or disable the iPedal. You've got EV route planner, so it says, we looked at this a bit earlier with the mapping app, but you can go in here and set an actual sort of default level for when you do route planning. You've got navigation in here, so we looked at this setting a bit earlier, so we'll skip this now. You've got sound settings. We've got premium sounds. You've got the speed dependent volume control, which is off, smallest change, moderate change, or largest change. What that will essentially do is customize increase the volume level when you're going a little bit faster to compensate for the road noise or the tire noise or whatever's happening in the car. Bit more relevant in a combustion car potentially, but you do get a bit of road noise in some EVs, so it's nice to see that you can add that if you need to. Also in here is volume limitation on startup. So certain audio sources, maybe from your phone or the radio, might have a different default audio level, so it's quite nice to customize the startup volume of that particular track, so you're not going to get in the car, turn it on in the morning and be absolutely shocked out of your system if something's too loud when you get in the car. You've got position, so you can customize where in the center stage or the sound stage at the center of the audio is going to be, so you can customize it wherever you want it in the car or just in the center there. Equalizer, so treble, mid-range and bass, pretty self-explanatory there. And guidance, so this is letting you customize the volume for different sources, so in terms of beeps, alerts, navigation guidance, navigation alerts and voice prompts. You've got radio noise control, so original, mild noise reduction and strong noise reduction. Driver assistance, so warning volume, the level of the warning sounds, you can customize how loud you want those volume levels to be. And then haptic warning, so when you have got some alert that requires it, like lane assist for example, the steering wheel will vibrate as well. And also speed limit warning sound, which I've got turned off currently. You can set, as I said earlier, you press and hold the mute button to easily turn that speed limit warning sound off. And speed limit change notification sound. So sometimes in cars when you've got the speed limit warning sound turned off, there will be a secondary beep when you do enter a new speed zone. So you can have that turned off at the same time. And connected devices, so Android Auto, the volume levels for those connected devices, as well as Apple CarPlay too. Phone connections, so at the moment I've only got my one phone connected. You can see there's 3 different levels. There's hands-free audio for your phone, there's Bluetooth audio in the middle and Apple CarPlay. There's Bluetooth system information, so it tells you what the car is called in terms of the Bluetooth name, and phone projections. You've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay too. So Android Auto, you can enable Android Auto, and the same deal for Apple CarPlay too. Got user profile, so I have logged into this car with my Kia Connect account. You can customize your name, the profile image if you want to, so you can go in here and choose something else like strawberries. You've got security, so you can set a password. You've got the email address. You can link a digital key, so we mentioned digital key 2 earlier. You will need 2 keys in the vehicle. And you can go here and change the user as well, so you can add another account and change that user account if you need to. And lastly, you can delete the profile as well. You've got voice recognition, so you can say, hey Kia, what's the weather like today?
Today it will be rainy in Bracknell with temperatures between 14 and 17 degrees Celsius.
Pretty cool there, and you can also activate Siri by using the on-screen or the on steering wheel control. Spoken prompts, it will minimize those prompts. There's a fair amount of stuff you can ask the car to do, so it's pretty good really. You could also customize the wake up sensitivity. You've got layout. So this is where the EV4 gets quite interesting, because there are some TV and film related themes for the car. These are £18 a year for the lifetime of the vehicle for the third-party ones, so you can scan the QR code to get access to those. You've got National Geographic, and you can preview these, so it's give you a good idea of what the actual look will be. Not seen this kind of thing on any vehicle in the past. The closest that you get is maybe what Tesla do, but nothing on this kind of level. Got Mickey Mouse. You can see even the car gets customized in terms of what it looks like there. Got Frozen, for those who love that film. Got those sort of stuff in there. Let me know what you think about this theme stuff in the comments down below. It'd be quite interesting to see what you think. There's loads of different options here. You've got Toy Story, you've got Buzz there, all the different profile pictures, the the car there, and a ball on the screen. Pretty handy, really, pretty cool. And then you've got Marvel as well, the Avengers. There's this one, another Avengers one, and just the standard Kia one. Pretty cool. There's cluster theme selection, so on the driver's display, which we'll look at a bit later, we've got Style A, Style B, and Style C, just some different colours really, and you can link them to the drive mode as well. Got the screensaver, so when this display is off, you can have the clock or nothing displayed. Got the split screen information, so when you have got a widget that comes up, you can choose to have certain things displayed there, such as charging station information, electricity use, the map, and EV route planners. Next, we've got display, so you've got the brightness here, which you can customize. Got auto brightness as well. You can set everything to default. You've got camera settings, so you've got display contents. We looked at this a minute ago, but you've got the extend rear camera use and rear view reference lines, and also blue light filter that can be turned on or off. And you've got less warm or warmer, got automatic, and a user set time. Got buttons here. So on the steering wheel, there is a filled in star, there is a mode button, and on the center console section here, there is a hollow star, and you can choose what those buttons do essentially. So for example, you could have the central star, choose media, map, EV, quiet mode, or display off. Got custom button on the steering wheel, so you can choose what this one does. The mode button, you can customize the up and down arrows. Do you want that to toggle favorites or toggle stations? The volume knob can be volume and power, or it can be to zoom in the map, which is quite cool. Touch button sensitivity is high, medium, or low as well. The cluster, so the brightness of this display instead, so you can choose that one, but this is very similar to what we looked at actually a second ago. The cluster theme selection, the content selection on this display. So when you do put the wipers on, it will give you some sort of indication about what the wipers are doing in terms of sensitivity in auto mode, and the same for icy road conditions. If you don't want that stuff displayed, you can turn it off, of course, and a welcome sound when you get in and out of the car. There's data and network, so you've got the Kia Connect system, and you can go in here and reconfigure everything if you want to. So I've got my profile selected here, and there is 10 years or 7 years free of Kia Connect, so it will expire in 2032. You can reconfigure that as well. Got Wi-Fi hotspot here. So you can enable that hotspot. There's an SSID and password or a Wi-Fi name, and you can choose between 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, and some instructions here on how to use that. There's some other modem information in here about the IMEI number. You can scan the VIN number. Privacy settings, you've got the all services or offline mode. Offline mode will disable any information for the Kia app of where the car is located. It will just take the car off grid essentially. The terms of use, we're not going to go through that, and some other privacy policy bits and pieces in there. There's also general settings, which is more of a system level information really. So it lets you know that this car is running on CCNC software, very similar to the Genesis GV60 and what the EV6 runs. So you've got the model number and the software information here. Over-the-air updates are activated, got firmware versions, map versions, device IDs. Over-the-air updates are turned on, and infotainment system and map updates also. But if you want to update the car manually, you can do so via a USB drive. You've got system information, so you've got memory, 128 megabytes of memory. This is mainly used for voice memos, which we'll look at a bit in a second. What's new, so if there is a software update for the car, this is a brand new car, it's only done 600 miles, there's not going to be any software updates for it. That's been recently done, and there's modem information as we looked at a bit earlier. Date and time settings, which you can access by clicking on the time up there. Got auto time setting, which is turned on. Got time format, 24 or 12 hours. And daylight saving time is turned on, so the time is 1:47, which is actually incorrect. For some reason, the car doesn't really know what the time is. Anyway, not much of a problem. We've got the language here, so English, Spanish, French, there's different languages here where all the Kia EVs are sold. Keyboard in here, it's got the option between QWERTY, QWERTZ, AZERTY and ABCD, and there's some other options in here for keyboards such as Cyrillic and Korean keyboard, default keyboards, and also automatic voice dictation. You've got units here, so you've got distance and speed, which is mile or kilometers. Temperatures, either Celsius or Fahrenheit. tyre pressure unit, which is PSI, kPa or bar. Media settings, so you can, when you get in the car and turn it on, you can have the media completely off rather than turn on, and maintain media playback when the vehicle is turned off, which is quite nice. And that's a thing that's been on vehicles for quite a while, but it's nice that you can customize that here. And lastly, you can reset everything. You can reset the entire vehicle, or you can just delete your profile. Next, we've got voice memos, so you can go in here and record some voice memos. Very useful if you are driving a lot on the motorway and haven't got any time to stop, and you think of some amazing idea in your head, you can record something, so let's do that now. This is a test of the built-in voice memo feature in the brand new Kia EV4. And that just uses the built-in microphones in the ceiling for the hands-free phones. Let's see what that sounds like. Voice memo feature in the brand new Kia EV4. Pretty cool. We've got the Relax Mode, which is new for the EV4. It's something that hasn't been on Kia models in the past. It says, this feature optimizes the vehicle's interior for relaxation during the set time and provides a wake-up alarm. Relax mode can be activated only while the vehicle is in utility mode. Please ensure that there is enough space in the rear seat before activation. So it will lie down. I'm not going to activate this because my camera is behind me, but it's quite cool. So it's more of a camping thing really, so that's quite nice. Car wash mode, and this is a, well, we can't actually activate it because there are some doors open, but basically it will go through a checklist of things you need to do to the car to activate it for car wash mode, such as disabling the automatic wipers and different things like that. It will say do various things, and it's quite dynamic in terms of what it gives you. There's weather here, so it will be the weather information about where you are right now. So you've got forecast and today, pretty good. Got the calendar, so it will pull information from your phone in the Kia app. So if you do want to activate that, you can use the built-in iPhone calendar, Gmail calendar, or whatever you want to use. Pretty cool. You've got sports. For whatever reason, all of the Hyundai Group vehicles tend to have a lot of information here for sport, but you can, if you do follow sport, you can go in here and set your favourite teams and see what's happening. So let's look at La Liga, nothing happening. Premier League, nothing happening. There we go. There's something happening with UEFA, tells you the games that are happening right now, so that's quite handy for you. Same for ice hockey, same for golf, and same for basketball. And then you've got the Valet Mode, which is a sort of restricted mode. It will hide any information from your infotainment screen to whoever's driving your car, and you can go in the software and set a top speed and see what's happening really. Quite handy. In-car payment, which is Kia Pay. So if you do need to buy any extra packages, such as those Disney themes we saw a minute ago, you can go in there and add a payment, and you have to add the credit card via the app if you need to. Vehicle diagnostics, it will go through and check all the core components of the car and check what's happening with the health of the vehicle. Because this is brand new, I'm hoping it'll be all tippity-doo. There we go, it's all pretty cool. Charger, steering, everything is all ready to go. Notifications, nothing happening in there. And lastly, the online manual. You just scan the QR code and you can get access to the online manual for your car. Now let's look at the driver display and the mobile app for your phone. So in terms of the climate control, we've got this section down here. This can be expanded if you want to, so you can make that bigger and put it on the touchscreen over here. Keep it a small mode. Got the temperature, got the direction of air travel, so you can choose where you want everything to be. All nice and handy there. Got the back window, the front window, recirculation, auto, and you can just turn the entire system off using some controls down here. All pretty good. So for the driver display, it's actually a pretty simple system really. You've got the speed on the left-hand side and the range on the right-hand side. In the middle is a representation of the car. So if I press the brake pedal, the lights do light up. On the right-hand side, that grey line, that is basically the amount of power you're using while driving. Got the battery percentage on the bottom right-hand corner and the iPedal mode with the regen level down the bottom right corner as well. If I set the theme to style A, we've got style B, which is a bit different, and style C is that red mode. You can also have it change the theme when you're in a different driving mode, but you can, as I said, have it in a custom mode if you want to. So this is the Kia app for your iPhone, and it's different to what the Kia Connect app used to be. It's a brand new app. I'll put a link in the video description to where you can download this from. once you launch the app, you get this view of your car. You've got the climate control, the doors, the charging and the windows. It shows you a picture of what the car would look like, and it is the exact same one, the EV4 GT line. Got the battery percentage, which is correct, 293 miles of range. If we put the car into eco mode, it changes in real time to 302 miles. Very, very good, very quick as well. This icon here, it lets you know that the car is connected to Kia's system or servers. You've got some options in here to lock all the doors, close all the windows. So if I open one of the windows, click this window here, and that closes the windows by itself. Very cool, really. But you can lock all the doors, start the climate control, and that sort of good stuff there. Click this X here. I've got the option to register the Kia digital key to unlock the car with a RFID card or my phone or my Apple Watch or something. Down here, got popular services, so vehicle change. If you own more than one Kia, you can go in here and change the vehicles. Vehicle sharing, so in here what you can do is you can see who the main user of the car is and add other drivers in. So your significant other may want to drive the car, and you can do that in here. Got FAQ, so there are some frequently asked questions. It thinks I've said hey Kia. And it tells you there's a load of questions in here, how to use it, how to use the car, how to share it, with different people, how to book an appointment, nice and handy in there. And you can reorder those icons. You can send a navigation destination to the car itself. So either homes or favorites, or whatever you want to do. In the top right corner, you've got the notifications. So it tells you when certain things were done. So the windows were closed a few minutes ago. Profile icon, that will take you to your profile. So you've got your wallet in here where you can add a credit card to Kia Pay. Got my coupons, got roadside assistance, more FAQs, purchase history. So if you've bought anything for the car, you can do that. The only thing I did do is try and do a free trial for the YouTube stuff a bit earlier, but apart from that, that's it. More user guides here. Got the map of where the car currently is. So it tells you where you are located and where the car is located. And you can get directions back to it if you've lost your car for whatever reason. Again, it tells you where the car is, nearby charging stations. We've got control as well. So again, it tells you the range, the battery, if the car is connected. Again, we can do a few things like set the climate control to the highest, climate control again, Valet Mode, climate control settings. They've got schedule climate control, vehicle diagnostics, tells you that everything is all hunky-dory. Got vehicle status, so certain things that are set. So side mirror heating is turned on at the moment because the rear windscreen is turned on. And within a second or two, it does activate and let you know what's happened. Got vehicle system, you can lock all the doors, ventilate the car, open the boot, close the bonnet. Well, lets you know what's happening with that stuff. You can sound the horn, you open the windows and start the climate control. Got some EV settings as well. You can press the start charging button once to start charging. Do next, you can set how long or check how long it will take to charge the car in real time. And it says here you can start battery preconditioning manually, start the charging, open the charging door, all nice and easy to use. You've got the store, which is where you can access some of the extras like the Kia Connect store, the Kia Charge system, test drive, build a new Kia if you want to, and see where your nearest dealership is. And then vehicle, you've got the more information about the vehicle, what trips you've done. So at the moment, this car is really brand new, but it's only done about 50 miles, about 2 hours 17. Then down here, driving safety score and driving insight with driving history. So if this is like the old Kia Connect app, what it will show you is a lot of detail in where you've driven. So 618 miles driven total, down previous last month, and driving history. It breaks it down where you've been or how long you've been driving in the past few days. Nice and easy there. And EV energy usage. So it's used 27 kilowatt hours so far, and most of that has been battery care and the average consumption there. And then you've got the energy usage over a few certain days. So it's used 87 kilowatt hours, when in the day it's been doing it. Got the average energy consumption too, and how much energy you've generated from regenerative braking. And that's about it really. It's a pretty good app actually. I think at the moment you have got the option between using Kia Connect or this brand new Kia app. I like the design on this one. It works really, really well. I've used it a few times in the past, but it's a nice design, and I think it works pretty well. So that's been a look at the Kia EV4 infotainment system, the driver's display, the climate control, and the Kia app for your iPhone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you again next time.